Giving the baby you made up for adoption is always an option. Over 2 million families are waiting to adopt. Murdering the baby you created is never an option.
Shaming pregnant people into relinquishing their children for adoption. Where have I heard about this before? Oh, that's right, the baby scoop era. I swear, some of you people really need a history lesson. The baby scoop era refers to a period in post-World War II American history characterized by a surge in the adoptions of newborns. During this time, there was a high rate of premarital pregnancies, and many pregnant women who were unmarried were pressured to relinquish their children for adoption. This period of American history was characterized by the widespread use of maternity homes. These are institutions often run by the religious right and Christian churches where parents would send their pregnant daughters to carry out their pregnancies in secret, because being pregnant in a public place brought shame upon your family and your community because you had gotten pregnant out of wedlock. You were a sinner. There's actually a very informative podcast that came out just this year called Liberty Lost, documenting what it's like to be inside the maternity home that still exists on the campus of Liberty University to this day. This might sound familiar, but the baby scoop era was caused by an increase in out-of-wedlock births met by a high demand for newborns from infertile couples, which fueled the adoption boom. In other words, there were millions of couples who wanted to adopt. There were a few people who were getting pregnant out of wedlock, and rather than supporting these mothers who had children out of wedlock, society was shaming them and pointing to the millions of people who wanted their babies. The US tends to look at adoption as this virtuous act, a form of altruism, of rescuing children from vulnerable circumstances and giving them homes that their parents otherwise couldn't give them. When in reality, in most of the US, and especially within the religious right, adoption has really functioned as a means of using shame and coercion to procure adoptable children from their families in order to satisfy the endless demand for adoptable infants within the United States. And to be clear, the millions of people waiting in line to adopt an infant are not there out of the goodness of their hearts. It's not about helping children. This is a matter of vanity. There are already thousands of children in foster care whose parental rights have been terminated, who are quote unquote free to adopt. You don't have to spend $50,000 to adopt these kids. The people that are standing in line are not interested in those children. They are interested in womb-wet infants. They want healthy babies, infants that they can pass off as their own and say, I am the only person this child has ever known. So when you see people pointing to these millions of people hoping to adopt as if they're victims because not enough people are relinquishing their children for adoption, just remember, adoption is a supply and demand business. And when you have millions of people hoping to adopt womb-wet infants, those infants have to come from somewhere. This isn't about saving babies' lives. It's just about creating more shame that can hopefully lead to more children becoming available for adoption.